What's it like to be here now? What's it like to be here? What's the feel? What's the sensation that you find that's loudest? Is it more the foreground, the weather, the thoughts, feelings, and sensations? Or more the background, this self, this being, this causeless okayness, this peace, this love? Can our systems include both? The background that some say is always here. It's just, in Rowena's words, it just gets blocked by our thoughts, feelings, and sensations, our parts. And for this to be kind of a real life for all of us, this precious time that we've chosen to come be together, Milo, Sarah, Nora, Rowena, Jack, and Raymond, and Sid. What's it like to be you right now? What's your biggest block, your loudest part, this that obscures? And what's your relationship with the foreground? How are you relating to it? In my system, it's been a uncomfortable morning. I have an experience on Facebook of someone who is offended by what I share. It even feels a bit like having a stalker. And so in my system, there's this protector part that says, no, I don't like this. I want this to be different. This shouldn't happen. What's the loudest part in your system right now? What's the loudest thought, feeling, or sensation? What's the loudest one? And where do you hear it from? Where does it? Is it in front of you? Is it in your head? Is it behind you? Or where do you feel it? Where is that? Where does it arise in you? This that is loud, the loudest of the foreground. And just to kind of keep us from blending with that expression, what's the second loudest? Like in me, there's this kind of reflective part. Oh, was that helpful to share what was going on with Sid, or did that kind of distract others from their own inner world? I have a thought that's kind of reflecting on that. And that's over to the left for me. And then the protector part that says no, it's just right in front of me to the right. And it's kind of big. What are your two loudest voices right now? And for some of us, self being this might be so pronounced and full that we might really have to go subtle to find such expressions. It might be just, oh, my back hurts a little bit, or what am I having for lunch today? So as you find those two, see if you can find where they are. And then for me, what becomes interesting is how is my system responding to these arisings? And just together with our little warm up and play, let's just be in 3 different responses. The first one, as we're aware of these parts, we just rest back in being, in self, where there's a loving indifference towards those arisings. See if you can join me in just sinking in to being, stepping back, zooming out, opening up, where the only interest is in this that is peace, love, fulfillment, okayness. What's most like peace that's here now? What's most like peace that's here now? What's most like love? Whatever your word is for it, it might be nurture, tenderness, care, compassion, welcoming. What's most like love that's here now? And how do you know it's here? Can you feel it? Is it pervading through your system, as you? And what's most like an okayness, an ease, perhaps a flow, just an okayness that's here? What's most like that which is here now? Are you okay? Is there okayness? If you can touch this kind of causeless, ever-present okayness that's not conditioned on experience. And what's it like to rest here as self, as this beingness? And from this that I call the first view, or riding the bike of being, can there be just a loving indifference towards the weather, towards that which comes and goes, towards our parts, as we rest in beingness? And if you're ready, from here, we're going to open the door and let everything in and welcome it all. So if we were to open up from here, resting as this beingness, and just a curiosity, what thoughts are here? What feelings and sensations are here? What's the loudest thought that's here again? Maybe it's the same one from 5 minutes ago. And what's the second loudest thought, feeling, or sensation? And where do you find them? Where do you hear, see, or feel them? And from here, can they just be welcomed? As if this beingness is this infinite, warm, loving hot tub that just welcomes all of you, all of your parts, everything that arises. Rowena's words, the step blocks. Can all of that just be lovingly welcomed by your intrinsic nature, this welcoming you are? In Effortless EIFS, we call this the second view, or Rumi's guest house. Since that all of our guests, everything that arises is just welcomed. And notice, is there anything you have to do to welcome these parts? And maybe there's a part that says, oh, I can help. We can welcome. We can do this right. There's a way to do this. And just notice that part. And is that part welcomed as well, effortlessly? What's it like to be here as the beingness that welcomes, and where all of these parts are here too. The fullness of this foreground and background. Is there tension beingness? Or does it more feel like just the love of self that welcomes? And as you feel parts that kind of grab or resist, and perhaps tension arises, I feel it in me and my belly. Can that also be fully welcomed, just as it is? And then if I was to ask you, what is it that your parts are wanting? What is it that your parts are truly longing for? See if, just as Rowena spoke of kind of the simplicity of just one word to describe her parts, could there be one word for, in general, what these parts that are present in you are longing for? What are they longing for? What are you longing for? What are you wanting? Really? Is it peace? Is it acceptance? Is it connection? Is it love? Is it love? Is it belonging? Is it care? Is it joy? Is it flow? Is it ease? Is it relief? What is it that your parts are longing for? What is it that you are longing for? And what's most like that which is here now? What's most like what is being longed for that is here now? In my system, as I describe this resistance that's there, this protection, this fear, there's a longing for relief. It's relief, okayness. What is it that your parts are longing for? What's your one word, and what's most like that which is here now? We're almost done, just a little bit more. Just to notice again this sense of welcoming from the hot tub of the guest house for the parts. And if there's some blending happen with a part, see if you can zoom out. Just open up or fall back, sink back in to the spaciousness, the self, the hot tub. As the parts are being welcomed, see if you can be aware of at least two parts at any time. If you can be aware of two or more parts, that will hold you in, that will allow the system to stay in this place of spacious awareness. And then again, from this space, let's just notice, is there okayness with what's here? Is there okayness? Is there welcoming of what's arising? Just intrinsically, a non-doing, doing, a non-doing welcoming. Everything just welcomed. And we're gonna step up a little bit and see where our systems can go. Is there acceptance of your parts just the way they are? Another step up. Is there a love of the parts just where they are? See if that's natural. Is there a curiosity? An effortless curiosity? Is there a fascination with the parts? Can we touch a fascination? And lastly, perhaps, is there an adoration? Is there an adoring of your parts just the way they are? Can that be touched as a flavor of being? And then, how far are you from your parts? How far are they from you? And speaking of that, where is this you? are they? How far are they from self, from beingness, from you? And as we notice whatever degree of intimacy there is with your parts, can you glimpse that this that is aware, this awareness, isn't completely separate from what the parts are made of? Can you glimpse something that's the same, that perhaps they're not completely separate from self, from beingness, from the background? This is the third view as we glimpse from time to time what we call Rumi's field, this connectedness, this of the same, that all is of self. And this is often when people describe spiritual experience as this bliss, this one love, this unity. They're tasting this. Can it be tasted as you're aware of your parts right now? Something that isn't completely different, completely separate. So as we gradually start coming back together again, what's it like to be you? What's it like to be here in all of this? And can there be a glimpse of these three different views, perhaps even all here now? This first one of just resting as beingness, this loving indifference towards the parts. The only interest is the self, the beingness. And at the same time, the second view of everything is being welcomed. Everything is welcomed and loved just as it is. And then this third view that, wow, perhaps there isn't truly fully separation. And then gradually, let your eyes like gently open just a little bit and see as you come back, you become aware of the six of us who are here with you, this connectedness, that you're not alone. If these views, if these perspectives, if this spaciousness, this celebration, this openness can maintain. And then as we're coming back together, it might be, I kind of like to shake things off and move because that was a lot. I have parts that were really exhausted trying to follow all of that. So it helps to shake it off. And also the sense of kind of the fun in our groups that there's really no place that we're going. We're just celebrating you. We're celebrating how life is right now. So nothing needs to be held on to, nothing at all.